In today's lesson, my topic of discussion is on the evolution of power system. Now, what is evolution of power system? The evolution of power system actually means the development of power system from day one to the modern age. The commercial use of electricity began in the late 1870s when arc lamps were used for lighthouse illumination and street lights. So, from the first generation of the power system, generally the lighting load like arc lamp are basically used as the load device, and these lamps are used on that period in lighthouse and street lights. So actually these are not the complete power system, because power system is a huge electrical network which designed with the generating station, transmission system and distribution system, and so many other protective device, controlling device and consuming devices. So the actual power system is developed in 1882. The first complete electrical power system along with the generator, cable, fuse, meter and load was built by Thomas Oliver Edison, and the historic Pearl Street station in New York City, which began operation in September 1882. So actual power system is developed in 1882 in New York City for the historical Pearl Street stations, which is developed by the different types of equipments like generating station, different types of loads, cables, meters, etc. This was DC system consisting of a steam engine driven DC generator supplying power to 59 consumers within the area around 1.5 kilometer radius. The load, which consists entirely of the incandescent lamp, was supplied at a voltage throughout the underground cables. So in the first generation power system is basically the DC power system in which a steam operated generator is present. So this is the steam engine. There is the steam engine generators are present on that edge, where that means the steam turbine is coupled with the generators. When the turbine rotates, then the mechanical energy of the turbine is converted into electrical energy inside the generators. Now this on this period, the only 59 number of consumers are there, and the span of the power system is just 1.5 kilometer radius, and the load is basically the lighting load, where the operating voltage is 110 volt. So the arrangement is very simple, but we always called this is the first generation of the power system. Within few years, similar system were to operate in most large cities throughout the world. With the development of motors by Frank Sprague's in 1884, motor loads were added to such system, and this system began the supply to the heavy load to the industry throughout the world. So actually the first generation power system was designed in the year 1882, but this power system is totally depend on the lighting load like arc lamp with operating voltage 110 volts. So there the heavy load is not used on that system. Actually the heavy load is coming for in next generation, and that is the motor load. So the motor load operated power generating station were developed in 1884, and the line is basically on that period is designed with the underground cables. So there are some advantages of underground cables in this period, because the safety aspects, because underground cable is safety precaution of underground system is very high. The maintenance is not enough. so that on that period the underground system is used as compared to the overhead system, because what overhead system is has lot of some advantages, it is and disadvantages also. The main disadvantages of overhead system is that huge amount of towers are required, some insulators are also required, cross arm are also required. So in this simple power station, the underground cable system is the best. And these are the large scale power plant on that period. By 1886, the limitations of DC system were become increasingly apparent. They could deliver the power only short distance from a generators. So the direct generator operated power system developed in 1886. Now, to keep transformation of power, lesser voltage and drop acceptable levels, the voltage level had to be high for long distance power transmission. Such high voltage were not capable to generate generation and the transmission also. Therefore, conversion may be required of voltage throughout the transmission line, and this is become the necessary. So on that period, the system is basically the DC system, not the AC system. So voltage transformation is not available on that period. So voltage transformation is the vital part of a power system, because actually our generating voltage is not enough. In case of DC system, the maximum generation voltage is 600 volt, but the high voltage transmission system has a lot of advantages, because in case of high voltage system, the voltage drop will be minimum, the power loss is also minimum, and we know losses are inversely proportional to the efficiency. So system efficiency will be maximum, and the better voltage regulation can be done by the help of high voltage transmission system. So voltage transformation is very vital on that period. Now, the development of transformers and AC transmission by L. Goulart and J.D. Gibbs of Paris, France lead to AC electrical power system. So first electrical power system is designed by J.D. Gibbs. In 1986, the William Stanley, an associate with the Westinghouse, developed and tested a commercial practical transformer and AC distribution system for 150 lamps at Great Britain. So the first AC power system developed in 1886, and this system is designed with the AC system as well as the transformer. Only 150 number of lamps are connected with this power system, and this power system is firstly designed in Great Britain. Now, with the development of polyphase system, Nikola Tesla, the AC system becomes more attractive. So the first generation power system, which is designed in 1886, is the single phase system, and the load of this system is just 150 number of lamps. So the huge number of loads are not support in this system on that day. So three phase system is required. So Nikola Tesla first invent the three phase AC system. In 1988, Tesla held several patents on AC motors, AC generator, transformer and transmission system. Westinghouse brought all the patent and this early invention, and they formed the present day AC system. The first present day AC system, that is the three-phase AC system, was developed in 1888 by the help of Nikola Tesla, and his patent is collected by Westinghouse. In the year 1890s, there was considerable controversy over whether the electrical utility industry should be standardized either AC or DC. So there will be a huge controversy regarding the choose of the system, like the system is either designed with AC or DC. In practice, there are some advantages and disadvantages are also present in AC and DC system, and in our daily life, the loads which we can use is some of the loads are designed with the AC and some of the loads are operated by the DC. So what kind of supply system is used in power system, AC or DC? But there are huge advantages of AC transmission or distribution system, because first of all, the generation of AC, high voltage generation in AC system is easier compared to the DC system, because DC generators are designed with the commutator and the armature. So from the high voltage collection from the commutator is very difficult. So the maximum 600 volt generated in DC system, whereas in case of AC system we can produce 11 kV volt generated. Next, the voltage conversion system by the help of transformer can be done with the help of only the AC system, not the DC system, because if transformer is connected to the DC system, then the transformer will immediately burnt out. So AC system is the best compared to the other system. Next, the conversion of AC system to the DC system is very simple, and comparatively less amount of cost are required, because the AC to DC conversion is done with the help of rectifier, and the cost of rectifier is not enough than compared to the DC to AC conversion system. So by these advantages, AC system is the best. We can consider AC system is the best system. So there were passionate and argument between the Edison, who advocated the DC system, and Westinghouse, who favored the AC system. By the help of the following advantages, the AC system had won out over the DC system for many reasons, and these reasons are already discussed. The AC versus DC controversy ended with victory for the AC system. So nowadays we can use the AC supply system. In the early period of AC power transmission, frequency was not standard. Many different frequencies were used, like 25 Hz, 50 Hz, 60 Hz, 150 Hz, 133 Hz. So this developed a problem for interconnection. Eventually 60 Hz was adopted as standard for North America, and although many other countries that used 50 Hz. Now the early AC systems are designed with some voltages like 12 kV, 44 kV, 66 kV RMS line to line. The 165 kV used in 1922, the 220 kV is used in 1923, 287 kV is used in 1935, 330 kV is used in 1953, 500 kV is used in 1965, 765 kV was introduced in United States in 1969. Now, with the development of Mercury arc valves, it is easily to use the high voltage DC transmission line, and this transmission line designed in 1950s. So there are lot of advantages of high voltage DC transmission line, and that is the great invention on that period, because we already discussed about the advantages of high voltage. In case of high voltage system, the initial investment cost of the transmission and distribution system is very low. High voltage system is the most efficient system. High voltage system is the loss free system. Voltage drop in high voltage transmission system is comparatively low, so voltage regulation is the better. In case of DC system, there are some advantages because high voltage can be transmitted with the help of DC system with only the 2 wires, whereas in case of AC system there are 4 number of conductors are required. So the initial investment cost is half in DC transmission system compared to the AC transmission system. Next, in case DC transmission system is very simple, no inductance and capacitance are present in this system. So due to the simple network, the maintenance cost and the maintenance hazard is not so high in DC system. Now another advantages of DC system is that there will be no skin effect, proximity effect, Ferranti effect in DC system. So when DC high voltage system comes in the power system field, then there are some advantages are there for the consumers on that period. Now in case of our country, electricity has been available in India for past 100 years. The first station commercialized was micro hydral scheme near to the Darjeeling at the end of the 19th century. The first major effect of the public sector was commissioning of the first stage of the electricity of the hydroelectric scheme with an initial installation capacity of 4.5 megawatt in 1902. Thereafter, small power station continued to set up largely amount the value of the urban centers, mainly through the effect of the consumers. By 1915, the installed capacity has increased to 105 megawatt, and in 1939 the installed capacity in India was 1200 megawatt. At the time of independence, the installation capacity was about 1900 megawatt. The number of electrified villages were about 1500 and the number of energized agricultural pumping setup was 6400. This was due to the effect of rural development had not been considered important to the pre-independence times. In the early stages of the growth of power plants, the major portion of the generation was throughout the steam stations, but due to economical reasons, hydroelectric power development received special attention in area like Kerala, Mysore, Jammu and Kashmir, Punjab, UP, Assam, Maharashtra, Tamil Nadu, etc. In the beginning of the first 5 years plant, the installed generating capacity in our country around 2300 megawatt. Under this megawatt, hydropower is 560 megawatt, steam is 1004 megawatt, oil with the help of oil 149 megawatt, and non-utilized but non-conventional energy 5 and the non-conventional energy with the help of non-conventional energy 587 megawatt, each raised of 3420 megawatt at the end of the plants. The second 5-year plan placed special support on the development of public sector and heavyweight industries for the electrical supply. At the end of the second 5-year plan, the installed generating capacity increased 5650 megawatt. At the end of the second 5-year plan, the number of villages electrified and the number of agricultural pumping set designed to 21,800 and 1,99,000 respectively. At the end of the third 5-year plan, 3 figures are improved, that is the increased power is 10,170 megawatt,